Okay, so the question was asked, have you ever stolen anything? So I mentioned about stealing some money, and basically what ended up happening, we were at a can't remember exactly where. It was along County Line Road, I think, or I-90, not 95, I-55 North, and so it was along that area. And we were doing, I think we were getting our car washed, and I think an oil change, mainly a car wash, and also the inside of the vehicle cleaned. So I ended up stealing some money from my sister, and my sister starts crying about it. And well, like I stole it from her, and then I ended up buying a pack of crackers. And so my mom wasn't happy about it. My sister was crying about it, and I felt bad. And then just in regards to along the situation a bit more recently, basically a lot of customers will go ahead, well, not a lot, take that back, totally take that back. So like there's, I, for a while I didn't consider it as stealing because what is that customers, they go ahead and give me their money and I give them back their change, correct change, I think like all the time. Yeah, I think almost all the time, or all the time. I'm pretty decent at counting out money. So I would go ahead and do that. And then sometimes people will be like, no, keep the change. Like they don't want it. So what happens is that sometimes people won't have enough money. So what I'll do instead is that I'll take whatever money that, like, they're like constantly frantically looking around, or they're like, oh, I don't have that money. Then I'm like, it's okay, like, don't worry about it, because like I have plenty of change, like, because people have given me like 30 cents, 40 cents extra, which I do appreciate, because sometimes, like, again, people don't give me enough change. Some people, I don't know if it's because they don't have enough money just in general or something else, but they'll go ahead and give me the wrong amount of change, and then they'll hurry up and speed toward the next one, hoping to like not pay all of it. And if it's like, okay, they don't have enough money, I get it, but they need to still eat. So I'm like, the other chance possibility is that they're just trying to skimp out on pain, which it's like, okay. But I try and think of more optimistically that they probably don't have enough money, which again, in my case, it's okay, because like other people give me like 25 cents extra. They don't want like a few pennies or a nickel, or they don't want a dime or a quarter. So there ends up being like, what I'll end up doing is that lately, at least, I'll go ahead and put a cent in front of my drawer, like on top of my register, or I'll place it in the far left part where the various money parts are at. So like usually for money parts, they have pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and then like I think two empty spaces. So let's say a person has a quarter, like a 50-cent piece or a dollar piece, I can go ahead and put it in those. So recently I decided just to place all my extra coins in which people leave behind in those. And in my case, like I would notice a really nice coin. Also, another thing that's nice whenever people leave their spare change is that sometimes I'll end up finding a coin from another country. So, for example, I found recently a Canadian penny. I'm like, it's not worth anything here. What? And sometimes it happens. For example, this penny, Canadian penny, or Canadian look like a penny, it was in a coin roll, which from what I can tell, the coin roll was actually from the bank. So my guess is that the bank teller just automatically put it all together in that thing and then just sent it off or something. Like the bank teller went ahead and just like placed it in there and then just stuck them all together and then sent it off. And it's like, okay, whatever. So that happened once, and then other times people will give me like coins from other countries, and like they admit like they didn't know it was there. And so like recently one lady, she's like, oh, that was wrong, okay, here, let me go ahead, and she tried to find like a nickel or whatever, because I realized it was not US currency. So anyways, I like with that, it's just spare extra. And so in my case, like sometimes people will even like actually give me like say, hey, you can go ahead and keep it. Like here's $1 for yourself, and it's like, okay, thanks. And so in my case, like for me, I'm like, well, you know, it's an extra penny or 2 pennies, and it's what a customer went ahead and left, and it's not anything that like they gave it to me or they gave it to Burger King. And then in Burger King's case, it's like, well, they don't really expect this, so, or like, I could technically do whatever I want with the change because it's spare. It's not like it's not part of the actual amount that counts toward people paying for their meals, basically. And so I was like, you know what, that's okay. And the only times I would actually take out isn't like a quarter or something like that. It's those coins, those pennies that have those unique backgrounds that are from like the 1950s or so. And so in that regards, like I'll go ahead and like take those coins out. And yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. But sorry, I'm thinking about stuff. I'll go ahead and just take out strictly that penny, especially if I'm like, okay, well, I'm over or something. And so in that regards, like I'll do it. And thankfully so far, like I've been like recently, last time I worked, I was like $2 and some odd change over. And the manager asked me how that happened. I was like, yeah, people just give me their change. And they're like, oh no, you can't give it. I even tried to tell this one guy who I was trying to give him like $1 in quarters. I was like, one of your dollars is in quarters. He's like, oh no. And he's like, he did not want it. So it's like, okay, I can't do much. Like, if he doesn't want it, I'm not going to be like, take your change. Yeet. Or like, throw it. Or whatever. So yeah, in that regards though, recently I felt convicted. It's like, okay, well, like the manager's seeing this video, they would probably think, okay, I'm stealing, and it's like, it's just extra or like spare. So I've recently come to the conclusion that whenever that happens, like make sure I have like a few extra pennies on myself, and then that way whenever I come across those rare 1950s or older pennies, to go ahead and ask them, hey, can I go ahead and keep this penny? I'll give you a penny in return. So that way, like A, I'm asking, B, I can go ahead and trade, or like B or like A, I can ask, hey, can I keep this penny because it is extra, or like I am over, so like 30-40 cents, and most of the time I am over. So but yeah, that's the more recent situation where I was like, yeah, I shouldn't do this. So yeah, so next video, yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.